In today's video, I want to share with you the 4 things that I wrote down that establishes the MPC as the best way to sell as an agency recruiter. Now, a lot of people want to argue with me about this, as in they want to say, well, isn't it better if you describe yourself and tell clients what your firm is about, who you are? In fact, that was the way we were trained. We were trained to write down an introductory statement. And that statement would say something like, hi, my name is Dawn Dunzu. I am calling from Joe Schmo Recruitment Company. We are a firm that does regulatory writers, biostatisticians, and clinical data scientists, among other things. I'm here to talk to you about our firm. That sell, if you have been doing business development, you will know that that doesn't work because it's just like blah, 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 me, and clients freaking hate it. They do not enjoy that sell, not one bit. So what you find that works is the MPC selling method, which is the most placeable candidate. In other words, you're telling the client who you're representing, what they're all about, why that person is important to them. Obviously, you're working on your sales skills to describe this MPC in a very tantalizing way that gets the client very interested in who and what you're selling. Because after all, we are in the business of sales. So with that being said, let me walk you through the 4 things that I love about the MPC method and why I think that it's such a superior way to sell. Number 1, MPCs immediately establish yourself as an SME specialist. What this means is that you actually know what you're talking about. It means that you actually can bring more trust and legitimacy to the table because you're not wasting their time. You're not like a generalist recruiter that just happens to have a random candidate in one field that's relevant to the client. No, you're a specialist. That's a pretty strong sales tactic because at the very least you can tell the client that, hey, look, I know what I'm talking about because I do this every single day. You will lose credibility if you say to them, well, I just recruit for everything. I can do anything you need me to do in this world. We all know that that's not possible. When we're hiring people, we want to find specific people with those specific skills. So being a subject matter expert is really important. And that's why you're using the MPC method, because you're using all the key words in that sales pitch so that they know that you know what they're talking about and what you guys are trying to achieve together. That is the benefit of using an MPC as your door opener, as your conversation starter, instead of, let's say, some generic sales track. Number 2, because you're not going to be a generalist, you actually end up being more useful to them selfishly. So frequently, people are thinking about selling to clients. They forget that that client could also be a candidate. And a lot of times the door actually swings both ways. A client could be a candidate tomorrow. A candidate could be a client tomorrow. So it just kind of depends on that individual's relationship with you and where they're at, where their employers at with you and your firm. So it just kind of depends on the relationship to determine that power balance. So a lot of times selfishly, these hiring managers that you're prospecting, they're going to be evaluating you as a potential headhunter for them selfishly. So if you can show them how good you are at selling talent, that selfishly may be interesting to the person you're prospecting, because then they're thinking, would I like this person to represent me? Because if I don't even like the way they're representing the candidate, I certainly wouldn't want to do business with them selfishly. If you're excellent at delivering MPC pitches, well, then you will win the client's trust because selfishly, they want to build that relationship with you down the line so that they may leverage you for your skill set. You become a more valuable ally if you're good at MPC selling. Number 3, the most obvious one is you're selling to the need. That is why the MPC method is ways more superior than generic sales pitches like, can I tell you about my firm? Nobody cares, Bob, right? No one cares about your, I'm not even going to say it, firm. Okay, nobody gives a crap because you're just one of millions of recruiters that are desperate, that are hungry, that are vying for business and have clearly no business. So you're going around telling people, hey, I'm in business, I'm in business. If you're in business, so-called if you're in business, we're the freaking candidates, Bob. Where are the candidates? That's why the MPC is really important because you're selling to the need. You're saying, hey, I know you need a hire at some point, maybe not now, but down the line. This is the type of person I represent. right? So that is already clearly selling to the need that a headhunter is responsible for, which is basically hiring. That's really it. That's all you're doing, is helping the client figure out if they can use you so that you can help them hire people selfishly, right? So you need to know their selfish needs and sell to the need. Easy freaking peasy. Last reason why the MPC method is the way to go is because experienced salespeople all do it. All right. That's the end all be all. Every single experienced silver-haired recruiter that's been doing this since the day they were born, that's what we all do. Okay. There's a reason why everybody does it. It's because it works. And people who are good at it are really good at it. When that cold call comes, people are like, I'm listening. That sounds like a good candidate. Tell me more. And they know that conversation in and out like the back of their hand. They know all the variations of where that conversation's going. They know all the questions that they're going to ask. They know all the objections that they're going to get. This is what happens when you've been in the sales game for a while. You kind of know the deal. Okay. So the MPC method is the go-to that all top billers use. All the global top performing recruitment agencies teach their staff on it. All the top billers that have staff teach their staff on it. We are all trained in it. This is best practice. So a lot of times in sales jobs, you got to do best practice because it's best practice for a reason. Now, you can use the MPC sale not only on cold calls, you can certainly use them on social media. You can certainly use them on emails. There's so many different ways that you can sell MPCs, but MPC selling regardless is one of the most powerful tools to win and land new clients. Let me know if you have any questions and if you're ready to take the next step and really learn how to do a proper MPC sales pitch. Go ahead to agencyrecruitmentacademy.com. That's where you're going to find all of my live coachings, all of my recordings, including the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules of how to do MPC selling. That's where you're going to go. agencyrecruitmentacademy.com. The first month is free. Every single month, I do live coaching where you can ask me anything. The next one is coming up, so make sure to sign up now. And then I'll see you on the next coaching. Again, the key is to focus on a niche and become a dominant player in that niche. Generalist recruiting never has worked well, and it certainly won't work well in today's day and age where going deep matters so much more than going wide. I hope this video helped you learn something new today. Let me know in the comments what you think and any questions you may have.